if I ever leave this world alive. Well, thank you for the things you did in my life.
Greetings. I hope the day has greeted you well. Thanks for coming back and watching another episode. Today, this is a blend my friend Damon Nomad Piper created. Called it his own blend, and he named it Affinity. I don't know what's in it. Apparently neither does he. But I asked him, "Hey Damon, what's in Affinity?" And he says, "I don't know, I'll have to go back and check my records." Tastes quite nice. A burly, nicotine, slightly aromatic. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll find out from him what it is. I don't know. Section 22. Section 22 actually speaks to me. I relate to this quite a bit, and I have a lot of the fears that come along with what Epictetus is talking about in Section 22, because of the nature of my channel and what it is that I do. Let me explain. Well, let me let Epictetus explain. He says, if you desire philosophy, prepare yourself from the beginning to be ridiculed, to expect that many will sneer at you and say, "Ah, he is all at once returned to us a philosopher. And whence does he get this arrogant look for us?" Do not show an arrogant look, or pretentious, but hold on to the things which seem to you the best as one appointed by God to this station. The station of being one of a philosopher, someone who does what I'm doing, basically talking about philosophy and life. And that sometimes people will view people like myself as arrogant or, douchey. And remember that if you abide in the same principles, the principles in which to me come naturally as being interested in this type of stuff, and I guess to some degree being preachy, then the men who first ridiculed you will afterward admire you. But if you shall have been overpowered by them, you will bring on yourself double ridicule. So you're sitting at home, and you're on the computer, and you're going through your YouTube feed. You come across the Wisdom Junkie, and you stop and you go, "What's that guy all about?" So then you click the play button, and the Wisdom Junkie starts talking about crap like this. Many people will say, "Hey, what the hell? He's not talking about pipes. He's not talking about tobacco." At least to the degree that I wish he was talking about it. He's talking about life and thoughts and literature and philosophy. He's a douche. You will sneer at me. Possibly. That's what Epictetus is saying, that people say about philosophers. And then people will go on Voxer or Skype behind the scenes and go, "Oh, that Wisdom Junkie. He is a preachy mother effer." Well, ooh, look. Yeah. What Epictetus is saying is that people like myself have to make sure that we're not coming across as pretentious douchebags. Yeah, that makes sense, because then people will sneer at you. The philosopher. But he's also saying that people like myself, who are into this kind of thing, who put themselves out there, shouldn't back away from it, from the fear of being sneered at and talked about in a poor light. Because if you begin to become somebody that you're not, and he talks about how as one appointed by God, in other words, this just is in my nature. If I would try to become something that I'm not and appease the crowds, well, then I'm going to get doubly mocked on the Voxer and the Skypes and the pipe chats. See? And he's saying that as long as I and we and anybody else who are into these kinds of things stay true to ourselves, that eventually people may sneer, but in the end, they will admire you for at least having stuck through it. So there's some lessons there. But it doesn't necessarily have to do with just philosophy. It could be anything. You could be into books or motorcycles or whatever it is that you're into. Don't put on a facade for somebody else. Stick to what you're into, and then be true to yourself. Don't try to put on a mask and be something that you're not, because people will see through that shit. And it doesn't matter how eccentric you are at all. You could be into cosplay, comic books, whatever. At the end of the day, they might have initial judgments about you, but because you stick to who you are, they'll respect you in the end. Section 23 plays off of that. It says, if it should ever happen to you to be turned to externals in order to please some person, you must know that you have lost your purpose in life. Be satisfied then in everything with being a philosopher, or a guy who likes motorcycles, or a guy who likes comic books, or a guy who does cosplay, or whatever it is that you're into. And if you wish to seem also to any person to be a philosopher, or anything else, appear so to yourself, and you will be able to do this. Be true to yourself. Figure out what you're into, and don't let the people who will always judge you, make you stop being true to yourself. Don't play to the crowd. Become self-reliant. Understand who you are and be happy with it. And you know what? Screw everybody else. Because in the end, they will respect you for it. That's what he's saying. Hopefully he's right. I think he's right. I don't know. What do you guys think? Till next time, Smoking Lamp is out. We'll see ya.